Today, we are diving into something that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction, but is happening right now. We're talking about giving artificial intelligence a sense of touch. And this isn't just about robots not bumping into things. No, this is about moving AI from a world of pure data into our physical, feeling world.
And this quote from the research really nails it. For all their power, AIs have basically been, well, brains in a jar. They can see, they can hear, they can process unbelievable amounts of information. But they've been doing it all without a body, without ever really experiencing the world they're analyzing.
So that's the big question, right? What if an AI could actually feel? How do you possibly bridge that huge gap between cold, hard computation and a physical, felt experience? That's what we're going to get into, the incredible science of teaching a machine not just to know something, but to actually feel it.
All right, first things first. We have to understand why touch is such a big deal. It's not just another sense to add to the list. It's totally unique, and that uniqueness is the key to creating a truly intelligent, embodied AI.
Think about it for a second. You can see a painting from across the room, but you can only feel its texture by getting right up close and making contact. And that contact, well, it goes both ways. The second you touch something, it is, by definition, touching you back. That simple, bidirectional reality shapes our entire world, from our sense of self to how we connect with others.
Okay, so if you want to process something as complex and nuanced as touch, you're going to need a pretty revolutionary kind of brain, and that's exactly what researchers have been building. It's called the Frequency-Governed Self-Graph Reasoning Framework, or FGSGR for short. You can just think of it as the new operating system for an AI sense of touch.
So how does this brain work? Well, a key piece of it is something called the Universal Signal Decomposition Framework, or USDF. Its whole job is to take the messy, chaotic signal coming from a touch and break it down. It cleverly separates that one signal into different layers of frequency waves, teasing apart the slow, deep pressures from the quick, light textural feelings.
And this image is the perfect way to think about it. It's like being able to see the entire forest, that's the overall context, the low-frequency stuff, but you can also see the individual trees, the main objects. And you can even see the tiny little leaves on the branches, the high-frequency, superfine details. It gets the whole picture at every level, all at the same time. And for touch, that is absolutely critical. So if the FGSGR framework is the brain, what's the skin? I mean, for an AI to feel anything, it needs a way to physically connect with the world. So let's talk about the incredible sensor technology that makes all of this possible. This is it, a graphene silicone capacitive skin. And trust me, this is way more than just a simple on-off pressure button. It can feel direct force, sure, like a firm grip. But what's really amazing is it can also sense the sideways stretching forces, what scientists call shear. You know that feeling when something starts to slip out of your hand? That's shear. And for a robot trying to hold something, that is a game-changing piece of information.
And this is where it all comes together. This is the brain and the skin talking to each other. The FGSGR system takes those frequencies from the skin and translates them into meaning. So a really low, slow theta wave, the system learns that's like a gentle stroke, a pleasant social touch. A mid-range beta wave is more about texture. It's something that grabs the AI's attention. And a high-frequency gamma wave, whoa, that's vibration, that's slip detection, that's an alarm bell that triggers an immediate response.
Which brings us to the absolute heart of this whole thing. We've got the skin to sense, we've got the brain to process. But how in the world does a machine go from raw data to something we might actually call a feeling?
Well, it turns out the system does it in two ways, pretty much just like we do. There's the discriminative path, which is all about the facts. What is this? What's its texture? How hard is it? But then there's the second path, the affective path. And this is the profound one. This is about the quality of the touch. Is it comforting? Is it threatening? Is this a social connection? It's not about the what, it's about how it feels.
So let's just trace that journey from a simple touch to an actual feeling. First, there's physical contact on the skin. Then, the skin sends this complex electrical signal shooting up to the brain. The brain then does its decomposition thing, breaking the signal into those different frequency bands we talked about. And then, the final step, this affective incentive system looks at that pattern of frequencies and translates it into an internal state, a feeling, like comfort or alarm. That's how data becomes a felt sense.
And this is really the revolutionary idea here.
The AI isn't just a spectator anymore, watching the world on a screen. It's using touch for something called interoception, which is basically a fancy word for an internal sense of its own body. It's not just feeling an object, it's feeling how that object is acting on its own physical body.
Okay, so this is all incredible science. It's fascinating stuff. But you might be asking, so what? Why does any of this matter in the real world? Well, let's get into the final piece of the puzzle, the applications. Because this could literally reshape our future.
I mean, the possibilities are just staggering. Think about robots in factories that are so sensitive they can feel a gentle nudge from a human coworker and safely move aside. Or prosthetics that don't just grip, but let a person actually feel the warmth of holding someone's hand. We could have therapy robots that actually know how to give a comforting touch, or rescue bots that can delicately feel their way through a collapsed building to find survivors.
And that's the real endgame here. The goal isn't to just program a robot to fake it, to simulate feeling. It's to build the foundation for an AI to have a genuine, embodied experience of the world. We're moving towards machines that don't just think about the world, but can actually feel their own presence in it.
And that leaves us with a pretty big, thought-provoking question to chew on. As we start giving machines this ability to have a physical experience, to feel comfort, to feel a threat, to feel a connection through touch, we might have to completely rethink that line we've always drawn between a living thing and an artificial one. What does it even mean to be a machine if that machine can truly feel its world?